Hello, TCI, Jonathan's Refuge, and all of our faithful followers and friends from around the world. It is a privilege and an honor to come to you as we are in the peak of our summertime here in the state of Washington in the U.S. It is about 95 degrees out right now. This last week each day here in Marysville, Washington, where tonight at 6 p.m. there will be our weekly church meeting is at the house at Jonathan's Refuge in Marysville. And we do a fellowship from 6 to 7. And then there's a 15-minute message, typically, no more than 20. And those get played towards the end of the meeting. And so we're out of there by 7:15, sometimes 7 o'clock. It's the way God intended for church to be. You know, a lot of people, we take the Bible. I know I'm not holding one right now, but we take the Bible. It's right behind me. And we tout it so often, but we also then create so many programs that are just fluff. Did you notice that the Christ, who is the theme of the whole message of the New Testament, never had a church building, but yet changed the world? And how many church buildings do we have in towns and they don't even change their town? Listen to that. I just drove to an expedition and then had to be picked up and brought back. On this expedition, we drove past a town called Concrete, Washington. It's a great little town. It's nothing. You literally blink and it's gone. It's one gas station. The high school, a guy that I know that just got out of prison, he came through our organization not too long ago, 2 years maybe. He's from Concrete. His graduation class was that of 2. Small town, okay? And as you're going through this small town, there's 5 churches. The whole downtown has about 8 buildings. And 5 of the 8 are churches. And yet they're not making one impact in Concrete, Washington in most respects. I'm being honest. There's a massive drug problem we got going on in Concrete. We have a massive spousal abuse problem going on in Concrete. But we got all these church buildings, and we're pouring all of our money into these church buildings. And so at our place, we meet and gather. So we spend an hour together trying to help become better people and make a change in our community. I'm not dogging all churches. Please hear me on this, okay? As a bishop, I oversee an organization that has international ministries and people that have ministries international. We're not dogging churches. We're just pointing out some simple differences between a traditional church and us. We put our resources into the people as the Christ did. And we'd love to see you come out and meet us. We'd love to put our arms around you and give you a hug locally. So come on out and visit us. Tonight's message, a tough mindset, getting a tough mindset. What does that mean, getting a tough mindset? It means many things. Mindsets aren't easy to make. And I say that because a mindset is something you create. You have to create your mindset. It's not something that is just instantly, how do I say this? You don't wake up and go, I got a powerful mindset that I can conquer the world. It doesn't work that way. You have to take little steps, and then you go a little higher, and then there's another step, and then you go a little higher, and then there's another step, and one ledge, and then one step, and one ledge, and one step. And next thing you know, you look back down behind you, and you go, oh my gosh, look at the trail behind me. In the winter expeditions, you'll see footprints in the snow. In our summer and spring and fall expeditions, you'll see a beautiful alpine valley with yellow, purple, blue flowers all over. And then this little 2-foot dirt strip of dirt, which is called the path, the hiking trail. And you look back and see how far you came. And you're like, whoa, how did I do that? You didn't do it all at one time. You did it by one step, one breath. I teach this lesson a lot. Corporations pay me a bloody fortune to come and teach lessons, and one of them that I teach very often is this one. People don't understand it. How do we get a mindset? It's stages. You get stronger, just like when you work out, you break muscle down and then you rebuild. If you eat the right food, it'll go in and create a stronger muscle so that it's newer and stronger, and the fibers are tougher. Then you go back in a couple of days later on that same muscle, and you tear the fibers again apart. And now that stretching, you see holes in my fingers. That's like the fiber in the muscle, right? It's torn apart. And then the new nutrients you eat, if you properly eat after working out, you should fill that up. So then the muscle keeps getting stronger, bigger, stronger, bigger. But you got to break it down, and it takes a little pain, a little suffering. And that's what trials and tribulations are. They give us the ability. So when people come and say, how do you deal with all the stress or all the problems? I get excited because that means I'm about to grow. And if I'm about to grow, that means I'm about to overcome things that I've been trying to overcome for some time, obstacles, situations. So I get excited. So I know adversity, when I hit it at first, it's like, what happened? I was moving 50 miles an hour and I'm dead stop. Adversity stops you in your tracks. That excites me. Most people start crying. I don't understand. I didn't know why I was doing so good. I was fine. It wasn't my fault. So I'm going to just curl up and call home. Not me. I hit that wall and I'm like, woohoo! Let's throw a party. And everyone around is looking at me like, what? And I'm like, I've been here before, boys and girls. This is exciting news. It's going to be a little tough right now. But when we come out of this adversity, around it, under it, over it, through it, blowing it up, however we choose to get around this adversity in our life right now, we will do it. And when we do, we're going to come out on top over here, and we're going to be stronger. You see how that works? So embrace it. And it creates this mindset that is unstoppable. So this week, we all know back in May 25th, I started an expedition to walk from Mexico to Canada called the Pacific Crest Trail. We're raising $1 million for the next Jonathan's Refuge that we're purchasing so that we can stop renting properties and start owning the properties and bigger properties so that we can actually do more for our communities and make a bigger impact on a larger scale. And so we're saving, we're raising money, we're getting donations coming in. I'm walking from Mexico to Canada, and I'm out there, and I go from Mexico up to pretty much Scissors Crossing over by Idlewild, and I have some problems with my cardiac system and go into some cardiac arrest situations. We stop it, get to the EMTs to get me checked out, and I'm safe for travel. So expedition put on hold, fly home. My doctors were saying, just come home. We'll do a couple quick surgeries. We'll get this resolved real fast. I come home, plan to spend a few weeks that they'd get the surgeries done, and then probably 6 weeks of recuperation. And then they all back off and tell me we're not doing your surgeries. And I'm like, not again. Adversity. I hit the wall. Okay. So I'm going to go on a different track. So then I went down to Truckee, and I get into Truckee, California. It's not as hot down there. It was cooler. We thought maybe if I helped my body have a little easier time, because I can go walk right now for 30 miles on the flats. I can go 30 miles today. It's no issue. But for whatever reason, when my body hits that adversity in the mountains of high elevation, like yesterday, I was at 7,000 feet. And when I got up to 7,000 feet, I started puking. Now, this is going to get a little graphic. So if it's too graphic for you, I apologize in advance, but life is life. So there I am. I get dropped off. I'm currently 35 miles from the Canadian border. And my plan is to go up and walk 35 miles, which should take me about 2 to 3 days. If I was in great health, it's a 2-day walk. Okay. Because, you're going up and down a couple thousand feet a day, but it should be a 2-day walk to the border and then 2 days back. Given my health conditions and my heart problems and how bad my heart is and how weak it is, that should be a simple trip. And again, keep in mind, I had 3 trips so far. I've had the first expedition. I went down to Truckee, tried it there. We got up, had major health problems, started puking again, talked to the doctors. They said, we're going to get you in. I got a new doctor's appointment, a different doctor. And he was adamant he'll do the surgeries and he'll take the risk because of my heart. And then we get back and they said no. And I said, well, I'm going back out. I ain't stopping. I'm going to get this PCT trip done. If I have to do it 6 miles at a time, I will do it 6 miles at a time. And nothing, absolutely nothing will stop me. And I mean nothing. Because I have a mindset. So here I am. I'm on the trail. I'm 35 miles from the Canadian border. I am excited. I'm prepared. I've got the lightest pack I've ever had in my life. I had it down to 28 pounds without water. I believe it was 28 pounds without water. or no, I'm sorry, 31 pounds without water is what it was. It was 31 pounds without water. And then when you add your water, because everyone's water situations are different, so your pack weight, and people even don't count the food for pack weight. If you took my food out, I was actually at 28 pounds for my pack weight, 31 pounds with my food, and then I brought a total of 3 liters, 3.5 liters of water. So 4 liters of water. Sorry, 4 liters of water. So I had a really a light pack. I was ultra light, and my drive was wonderful. We left at just over at 4 in the morning. I was feeling exhausted. I didn't get but 3 hours sleep the night before. And that's never good on an expedition. You want to start it when you're starting to climb. You want to start on a full night's sleep, at least with my health conditions. Okay. I'm not, you youngsters can hop in a car like I used to and just pop up and be like, whoo, and run up and down these mountains. I'm not there anymore. Okay. So I didn't get my normal rest. I did only 3 hours of sleep, and that's what probably started it. But it's my health inside, the vascular system and the heart. And so here I go, and I get out there and I get dropped off and I start hiking, and I only made it 6 miles. 6 miles. And in that 6 miles, I ended up going to the bathroom, diarrhea 3 times, puking 3 times, and then finally saying, I can't do this after taking care of myself. 6 miles. This isn't 6 miles. That's it. There was one lady, Mosey, who was behind me, an old lady, a grandma. She called herself a granny. She said, I got 3 modes. I got granny. Oh, no, she goes, I got Mosey. Her trail name is Mosey. We all have trail names. I'm Mountain Man on the trail. So Mountain Man ran into this old grandma, and she called herself Mosey because she's always moseying along, right? And she's got the whole trail done. It's taken her since 2018. And that's what's interesting is she actually kind of inspired me last night after having gone home in defeat again. But see, that's the difference between me and everyone else. I came home defeated, but anyone that knows me knows I don't stay there. I'm human. So don't tell me I'm not going to get defeated. I set a goal and I didn't get it. I am pissed. I'm angry. I'm mad. I have all the emotions that any other human on earth goes through. But the difference is my mindset doesn't allow me to use it as an excuse. I have the greatest excuse. I came home. I didn't even want to talk to people. I just threw the stuff in the expedition room and I just put my head down in shame and went to bed. I get up today and I had puking and going to the bathroom again. And when you do one or the other, it all usually happens at the same time. I don't want to be graphic, but you understand I had to then deal with that nightmare. My body's shutting down. I'm fighting emotions of not feeling like a man even, let alone a human. I don't need your pity. Listen, I've gone through 2 strokes. I had to wear a diaper. I had to have people bathe me, wash me. I got a thick skin, okay? But it doesn't mean I still don't want to feel like a man, even though I still am a man. But it makes your head mess with your mental health. You're talking not just to a bishop, but a man who actually owns one of the largest private health practices in the county where I operate our international headquarters from. So I understand how it can mess you up. So here I am going through this. And what was I doing last night? Ask anybody that truly knows me. What do you think I was doing sitting in that bed? Planning my next expedition. Absolutely. So I sat there and I'm like, this is exciting. I figured out where I got dropped off at. That's a 6-mile stretch. I never have to do it again because I found an outlet road. My next time I can just go up. And instead of walking 35 miles, it's only 29 miles to get to the border now. And then I could come back and finish that stretch. And so I'm figuring out how I can piece this thing together literally 6, 7, 10, 12, 20 miles at a time. What does it mean? It means if I can't walk without puking and going to the bathroom, then I'm going to crawl and I'm going to claw into the side of these hills and I am going to get to the freaking goal that I've set because I've put it in my heart, and I refuse to settle for anything less than getting my goal of showing people you can overcome anything if you have the mindset. The warrior mindset that I'm talking about is not about pride or arrogance that you're unstoppable. That's stupidity. I'm talking about the mindset that says, I know I have limitations. I know I'm at death's door. I know that this is risky, but I'm going to do what I can, and I'm going to do it. If it takes me a mile at a time, then I'm going to take 2,650 miles, 2,650 days at a time, and I'll get it done. It's just going to take me a few more years. You see, that's what I mean when I say you blow it up. If there's adversity in the mountain, you blow it up or go around it. If you can't go around it that way, go around it this way. If you can't go around those ways, try to tunnel under it. If you can't tunnel under it, try to tunnel through it. If you can't tunnel through it, try to go over it. If you can't, drop a nuke on it, blow it up. Find another route to get to what it is you want. What is it I'm out here trying to do? Do you think I need to go climb this trail because I need to prove that I'm a mountain man? Listen to this, okay? I know who I am. Jonathan Edward David Brown knows who he is. My ego? Do I need to be fed by my ego? When I do, I walk into the mirror and I just look at my tattoo that says the Irish Beast, and I feed the ego of flesh. And then all those things that I did fly back, and I'm like, geez, that was very violent. Oh, God, I did horrible things. I was this tough, macho, manly guy, I thought. And then I realized that's not what toughness and macho-ness is. That's not tough. No. And putting my life on the line to try to raise $1 million for a noble cause, that's not tough either, by the way. That's not what tough is. What is it? Tough is doing the things every day that I don't have to do, but I choose to do because it's the right thing to do. We are creating a generation of people that literally in military now, they have these cards, they have trainings in law enforcement. There are police academies in the U.S., and there are military-based boot camps that now give cards that say you can't yell at me right now because I'm under anxiety. Hey, people, you might be a little sensitive, and I might offend you as your bishop, but I'm glad if I do offend you, because this is an area you need to be offended in. I'm going to provoke you to grow right now, because we're creating a generation of people who are so weak and so pitiful that when they feel adversity, they time out, hold. I have a card here that says, can't yell at me no more, drill sergeant. I'm sorry. When I was in gunfights, if you stood up and held a card up and said, time out, you were dead. So we're taking a whole group of people and we're raising a generation up of a mindset like this. You say, but that's just a couple things. No, it's a mindset. Listen to me. We are creating a mindset of people that need the government to assist them. I need my bills to be paid by you, Uncle Sam. So I deserve a check. You deserve nothing. You should be grateful that you live in the U.S. where they even give you food stamps and a Social Security or something, SSD, SSDI. These are things that they're not your rights. Okay. There's no place on earth in existence you have a right to anything except to even breathe. But we're alive. But we've created this society right now of people that, man, do you know that I heard once a child say to another child that he said, you want to go play video games? And the kid said, I'd love to, but I got to go do my chores. He goes, chores? What's that? He says, chores. You know, your dad and mom give you chores each week. And he goes, what? He goes, what chores do you got to do? He goes, well, I think it was like Thursday. He goes, so today is the kitchen sink. So any dishes in the sink on Thursday, when I get home from school, if there's anything in there from breakfast or anything like that, today's my day to do those dishes. So I'm going to do the dishes. And then I just have to always check my room, because when I get home from school, I got to make sure that it's all cleaned up. And then that's it. My only chore extra for the day was the dishes in the sink. And the kid looks at him and says, do you know that's abuse? You can call the Child Protective Services. Man, I tell you what, when I heard that, I about died laughing. I'm like, so now chores are abuse. Wow. Don't get upset when you're dealing with society that thinks that they should be given everything for free. See, my mental health facility, this is what we deal with every day. People call us, telling us, but I'm an American. I deserve to have my life paid for by you who have more than me. That kind of mindset. Drill sergeant, stop yelling at me. I need a timeout moment. I'm a little anxiety. The fact that we even do these things, we're setting ourselves up for failure. I don't create, nor do I promote programs that are going to fail. You want to fail? Go hang out with someone else. Go sit under the church and administration and the oversight of another bishop than me, because I will not participate in programs that don't work. Our programs in the Johnson's Refuge and in TCI, the Church of Inclusion, and in our nonprofits, these things are backed by decades of research and decades of experience in the field proving these techniques. And the fact that we have a 0% recidivism rate at our men's homes from prison, the fact that we have the amount of success rates that we have are putting us in categories that no one in the country can touch. So the system works, but I still question, why is society? Why are we so weak-minded? It's because we're creating it. So what in your life, forget society now. I'm looking at you and I'm pointing at you. What in your life do you need to change it and tighten the hatches down, button down the hatches on, where you might have realized, man, I've been sitting back, taking this whole life thing like as though everything is dependent on other people. No. Man, if you want to change something in your life, it's up to you to do this. When you hit adversity, no one's going to help you do this. I love my friend Brian. He's one of the board of directors of one of our organizations and one of my best friends. And Brian, he's like a brother of mine. There's three men that I consider my closest brothers, and these three men are dear to me. And they sit on boards in my organization. And these men, it's interesting. And Brian specifically, he's single. And Brian, someone asked, like, hey, Brian, what are you doing this Saturday? Can we do something? And he's like, well, Sunday we're all getting together for that hike. And they're like, yeah, but I mean, can we do something on Saturday? And he's like, I got to do chores. And they're like, chores? You're a grown man. You don't need to do chores. And he's like, I'm a single grown man who knows that I don't have anybody at my house to do my chores. So I have to get up and do my chores. But society doesn't think that way nowadays. We have too many people that would say, yeah, I want to go have fun and play, but not take responsibility for their actions. Or we have everybody that wants to get stuff, but not what it takes to get there. I took it 4 years ago, $20, and I built a multi-million-dollar empire with it. Everybody wants to know how I did it. I tell them, and none of them can figure it out. It's because the secret is so simple, no one wants to do it. I know. You'd think everyone would figure it out, but it's true. It's only going to happen when you take it serious, when the student is ready, the teacher, appears. But it's true. When you're ready to change that mindset, when you're ready to change your mindset and you're ready to go, okay, I need to tweak it just a little. It's not about like flipping everything around. Simple things, small micro adjustments. You can make just micro adjustments. And that's literally, as a high performance coach, I specialize in micro adjustments. It's little adjustments that will make the results. And when you get to performing coaching staff of high caliber that are, these people they've got to make $10, $20 million in sales on a daily basis to keep their job. This is high pressure stuff. Or it was, I need to lose 250 pounds. How do I do this? This is a serious thing. Maybe we're not talking about like, I need to lose 5 pounds. Or I was hoping I could figure out how to open up a 401 something, 401p, 401k. We're talking about high-end performance. That intense dedication is, man, it's immense. It takes everything out of you. You want to be a basketball player? It's your life, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You breathe it, live it, play it, shoot it. That muscle memorization is all you do over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And you do it until your arms break, until your muscles break, and you keep doing it until your body falls apart. You can't do it no more. Or a younger person does it better and faster than you, and then they cut you out. This is the cycle, but you have to have a mindset to do those kind of things, because that sometimes can be mundane. Every day I get up and I spend about an hour a day reading financial papers. An hour a day. I've read financial papers since I was probably 6 years old. Now it's nice because I can be on my phone while we're sitting around waiting, and I'm just checking. And I have certain reports that I follow through certain countries and certain organizations, and trying to watch the markets and understand the markets and pay attention to what's happening, so I can see how it's going to affect the industries that I am the chairman and president over, the conglomerate of companies that I have, in our church and our nonprofits. Do you think I want to listen to an hour a day of reports of finances? Do you think I want to spend an hour a day doing that? No, I don't. I'd rather be holding my wife's hand, walking on a beach. I'd rather be spending it at the refuge with my guys. I call them my knuckleheads affectionately, because I think it's an honor to be called a knucklehead. I'm a knucklehead. If you're wondering what a knucklehead is, go look in the mirror. It's you. You're a knucklehead. We're all knuckleheads. And my knuckleheads, I'd rather spend an hour with them, just talking to them. That's what mentoring is. It's being present, and it's giving them advice. I don't have to blow in there and hear their whole story for the last 2 months. I walk in and I can hear one complaint, and I can tell them one thing that I know that they need to fix. And if they just fix that one thing, their whole life will change. I leave. I come back a few weeks later. Guess what? They fixed that one little thing that they thought was so insignificant. That ain't going to make a big difference about it. Next thing you know, their jobs are getting promoted. They're getting pay raises. Next thing you know, these guys are like, man, Rev told me to do this. I did it. I got this job. I'm getting education. I'm getting money. I'm getting paid to go on vacations, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it works. It's funny how things work. It's amazing. If you do and work the system properly, you will become a success too. But you got to put in the time for the mindset. So that's what we got to build on. So what does it take? Well, that's what we're going to discuss for next Thursday. So I'm going to give you guys a couple lessons for the next few weeks on mindset and how to acquire it. Today's lesson and message for this sermon was simply this. How do you do what you do? How is it that I can go down and walk in the deserts at 110 degrees, or walk through snake valleys and go bear country where bears are eating people and do these things when I'm dying and when I'm defecating myself in the woods, puking all at the same time? How do you just not want to throw the towel in and sit on that couch right there in the office and just never be seen again? You're just like, I could just show up to my office. Listen, I've come to the office hurt and pain, and I have laid on that couch right there and just said, I'm never going to move today, and nobody bothers me. He's having a bad day. I could do that for the rest of my life, and the world would never blink an eye at me, because I have put in my 48 years of hard labor and work. I have lived 100 lifetimes more than 100 men could ever even begin to try to do the things I've done. So I'm satisfied with who I am and what I am. I don't need to accomplish anything else to make me satisfied. So for me to put my feet up on that couch and ride the next 2 years of my life out in gold and happiness, I've earned it. But I don't have that mindset. My mindset says I'm going to find a way to get through this. Matter of fact, if anything, the tougher it gets, the harder I'm going to be working to find the breakthrough. That means people that are behind me. That's why I'm doing it, because there's people following me. And when I look back, I don't see nothing. I see crowds, and they're looking for an answer, and I have to get that answer. And because I wanted the answer, and that's why I have to help find the answer. I'm going to supply the path for people. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing you a pathway in the next few weeks to getting a mindset. So I hope you're going to button down the hatches. And I know I went really late on this message, but I need you to hear this. This is probably the key message, that if I had to tell you I was going to be dead in a couple weeks, that if there's one thing you have to have, is the understanding of how to get the blueprint to a successful mindset. So we're going to delve into the mindset, and I don't know how long it's going to take. This is my first time putting this series together. I've been preaching on the topic and subjects of the mindset for quite some time, but I'm going to now really go a lot further into discussions of how do we acquire the tools, what are the steps. I've never done this in group sessions. I've only done it in the corporate sessions when I'm hired. You know, these companies will pay $5,000 for me to come in and teach for an hour. And so I'll spend it then doing it that way. Or at our organization, we do everything one-on-one. I love one-on-one. It's the best way to get that individual attention and really great results. But now my ministry is changing and evolving, as always does. And now I see the need for greater audiences, and they want more people to hear the message. So we're going to bring the concept of the mindset to the masses. And I don't expect everybody to get it because I teach it and I see people, they don't get it. But the ones that get this teaching and they'll hold it dear to their heart, I promise you it'll change your life. I love you guys. I'm sorry again. I try to keep my messages under 20 minutes. I apologize for going late today, but this message is the most important message of in my opinion, that I can leave as a legacy, is how do I accomplish everything I've done, be it building multi-million-dollar empires, overcoming health. When the doctors tell me I'm going to die, I laugh in their face and say, not now. Sorry. Don't buy it. Not this time. I'm not dying. You might have someone else dying, but it ain't me. I'm going to keep on fighting until the good Lord says it's my time. And I will not allow my mindset to say otherwise. And it's kept me coming from the door of death for many years. I always joke and say, death's not coming for me. I've already entered the door, walked in, kicked its head in and said, hey, you can't come and take me until it's my time. So stop trying to make me scared and fearful of my life ending. It'll end when it ends, and that's that. Get out there and live your life with a positive mindset. I love you guys. God bless. Let's go coexist out this week. But as we coexist, let's do it with a mindset that is a positive mindset to change us for the positive. I love you guys.